And it's kind of like, okay, if I'm supposed to be the woman that takes care of you, or we have a partnership and you're my leader, you know, sometimes you feel like, all right, what am I doing wrong? What like, you know, and honestly, like, I know people probably feel like men should have multiple women, but in the Bible, it's not what people think. You're not, it's not people supposed to have multiple women. That's why God made us, you know, Adam and Eve. And then people started having multiple women because they had to, their children worked in the fields. Their children helped to provide for the family, help the crops, help the sheep, herd, all those things. But we're not, that wasn't how God intended it for it to be. So again, it's supposed to be man and woman. So that's my explanation.
Okay, what do you say to, I think it's 1.8 billion Muslims? They don't believe in that. What do you say to them?
I'm talking about the Bible, the Christian Bible that I believe in and that I read and that I feel is to be true.
I read
That's
the same
just
Bible.
my perspective. That's how I feel. And when my relationship with God is, that's just what I believe.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Bible, the Christian Bible that I believe in and that I read and that I feel is to be true.
I'm talking about the Bible, the Christian Bible that I believe in and that I read and that I feel is to be true.
So not only do we have those chemical imbalances going on in our body, but we also have the urge to go seek another man when our man is not making us feel emotionally supported.
I'm talking about the Bible, the Christian Bible that I believe in and that I read and that I feel is to be true.
I look at men when I go outside and I'm like, damn, he look good. Damn, look at his muscles. Damn, look at that motherfucker. He is shining.
I'm talking about the Bible, the Christian Bible that I believe in and that I read and that I feel is to be true.
So that in the Old Testament, it was different, but in the New Testament, that's when things kind of changed around. Jesus was like, nah, just one. He didn't say it specifically, though. That's why the Islam, I asked her about that. That's why they tend to, you know, make that argument.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Recha HaKwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to you, brethren, you fellow believers of this faith, all you supporters of this truth. That includes also a few sisters that support us, and shalom to the elect. So anyway, I ran across this video. Every once in a while I check these type videos out and listen to this woman says her Christian values. Now you can see how she looks, how she dressed. She has all the Christian values. But in the same video, she was speaking of how she moves from men to men if the man doesn't satisfy. So this is the example of Christianity. It just really is. Now, you might say, being a Hebrew Israelite, the example is negative things, but you don't see what we teach anything remotely like this and saying it's okay by God. Now, it's funny because she said that God never accepted, and this brother here, I think he knows he's an Israelite, when he said Jesus actually never said it, which is absolutely true. And we're going to go into that. I don't think I'm going to go into, was it Timothy? Bishop must be blameless. I did a video on that, husband of one wife, which actually was talking about the adultery that was going on in the churches. And the only way he would be blameless is if he wasn't messing with the women that were being passed around, in a nutshell. Also, it was a Greek tradition. If his woman died, he wasn't to remarry in the church. That's all that was. But we're going to go here in Isaiah 4:1, and we're just going to go where the Spirit goes. I may even quote some scriptures just to shorten this up a little bit. But did Jesus, the one you call Jesus, say that? So first we're going to have to go into Matthew 5:17. I'm quoting. He said, think not that I come to destroy the law of the prophets. I come not to destroy, but to fulfill. And the fulfillment is fully going to come in when he returns and the kingdom of heaven is established. This is why he said, I will not drink of the fruit of the vine until I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom, because he hasn't finished, right? So I'm going to read this real quick that a lot of these guys like to quote. Even Bishop Nathaniel of the IUIC, he believes in this doctrine, except for when Isaiah 4:1 happens. So it's kind of confusing that Jesus, the one you call Yahushua, said he come to do the will of his Father, but then all of a sudden he changed it, and he didn't. And we're going to show you why. Genesis 2:24. For this reason a man shall leave his father and his mother and be joined together to his wife, and they shall both become one flesh. He didn't say anything new that was in Genesis, the 2nd chapter. Well, nothing new. Of course, he leaves and joined to his wife, but then he had other wives too. Did not Abraham join to Sarah? But then there was Hagar, right? Did not David join to Bathsheba? Okay. Did not Solomon join to his wife? But you still had wives and concubines. But we're going to go more into that. He was only quoting out of Genesis, the 2nd chapter, out of the law. And the reason why he said that, because of the Pharisees. They was trying to trip him up on a divorce, because he was saying that when you continue to read, he was saying that a man shall not leave his wife unless it be of divorce, because they was doing unnecessary divorcing. So he would quote out of the law to show them that he was still about his father's business, right? A lot of these people don't read. These Christians don't read. They're not understanding what they're reading, right? Let me go here. This is Matthew 19. It talks about Jesus teaching divorce. Was it Matthew 19? I think it's 5 or 22. Let me see real quick. I just got some opened up. I'm just trying to go in the spirit. In fact, I'm going to read right before he quoted that. It says, the Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, talking about the Messiah, and saying unto him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? Right? You see what they were saying? They was tempting him because the things he was doing, the things he was saying, they didn't believe him, right? And they was trying to choke him up. But what he did, he says he answered them. He said, have ye not read that a man shall cleave, that the Lord made male and female? And basically said a man shall cleave to his wife. That's all he was doing, because they were trying to tempt him to try to bring him on accusations of coming against the law. That's why he had to say, think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. Right? So let's go to, now I'm going to just speak on these women for a second. These women, and most women, they don't have, well, you know what? Let me read a comment real quick. This is a comment a guy left. Let me see if I can find it. His name is Jay Mojito. And it's those men that are feminists, right? It's those men that push that agenda. It says, Jesus never said it was okay for a man to have more than one wife. So stop it, right? Because I left a comment. And I said, well, show me where Jesus said it was never okay for a man to have more than one wife, right? So where was the rebukes on the Messiah rebuking all these men for all these wives? We know what happened at the woman at the well. We know that. It was not like, now I'm not saying to go out here and get multiple wives. We don't push that. I mean, if that's what you do, that's your personal business. But what I'm going to say is these women are liars, right? The only time these women say that and push this agenda is when they got a man that they trapped and they want to keep for themselves. But when it's a man, and this is real talk, but when it's a man that they want, right, and he has value and he has money, or he's a basketball player, or he's an athlete, who do you think be up in those rooms, in those dorms, and in those hotels with these great athletes and singers? Who do you think is up in there? And do these women ever really give a damn about them having other women? Every woman that I've actually met never gave a damn that I had other women. It's just that when you get them, then they pour that out on you for the trap. and say, well, you only supposed to be with them. It's all right when they're trying to catch you, but when they have you, it's not all right. That's all I'm saying. But the simps, they're the ones that push that agenda. Women don't even hardly believe that crap, man. This is why the IUIC is set up, and those women in the IUIC, they understand they can get a man for themselves, a man of some type of rank and power. But then you still see the adultery, because those women commit adultery because they don't care. They want the man at the highest level. They want the hypergamy, right? They're hypergamizing. Anyway, I'm not going to make the video about that. We got to stay strictly scriptural. But Leviticus 20:10, let's see what the law says. It says, a man that committeth adultery, right? And we're going to go in some commentary. A man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery and his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and adulteress shall surely be put to death. Now we see here, it says, if a man who committeth adultery with another man's wife, that's when it's adultery. It never says if a man who sleeps with a woman that has a wife, he has committed adultery. I like to see one of you Christians pull that out. I guarantee you won't see it. Let's go to Deuteronomy 22. There's more proof. If it says, if a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, then they shall both of them die. Right? A lot of them had a controversial issue in Deuteronomy 22 that we go into. Right? When a man actually took women. Right? Because the way that worked, if a man go out here today and he takes a woman, not according to her will, and he leaves her, he just lays with her and leaves her, there's a consequence for that. If you take her, you got to take care of her. And that's why the sexual liberty it's all screwed up. If you look at it, that's why it says, give not wicked women liberty to gad abroad. Because they're looking to say, oh, he's cute, he's this, he's that. That screwed up everything, man. Anyway, and the value of men has been taken away. Let's be honest. These women don't... See, it's kind of selective feminism. They want to flip it on when they want a man to take care of them, the man to give them this. It's all about what they want. Just as children, they was groomed to be so-called beautiful for men, and that to be the catch. But then when it comes to the other matters that matters in a relationship, now you're supposed to be the man. Now we're equal. And that's what they do. 1 minute, it's about what the man is supposed to do, right? It's his job, is what he's supposed to do. And the next minute, and they're funded, so they're doing well. But when a man is not doing as well and he doesn't have as great of a job, the feminism kick in. Now he's supposed to be on my level or more. This is crazy. And that's the mindset of what's going on now. It's only to the advantage of the woman. Anyway, both of them shall die. The man that lay with the woman, and the woman, so you shall put the evil from Israel. Now, this is also going into this woman, she was already married, right? So if you took a woman that wasn't married, right, there was no punishment. But the so-called penalty, the fine, was you had to pay the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver. Now, if the woman was betrothed to be with a man, right, and the man took her, or if she was married and the man laid down with her and she didn't scream or cry, well, that's adultery. They'll both be put to death, right? Because it's her fault too for enjoying it. The problem is, if she enjoy it, she's no more good. Let's go on. Matthew 5:28. But I say unto you, whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her committeth adultery and her already in his heart. Now the Christians, because Christians don't read, some of them are going to start learning and they're going to start catching on to us and our teachings, right? But a lot of them don't, because it's branded in their spirit to follow white, effeminate Jesus. And most of them Christian men are effeminate, by the way. They soft. They teach the one wife. And I guarantee you, there's some other things going on with them women, man. Now, the masculine Christians, which are the preachers and the leaders who appear to be tough, they're the ones that's waxing on your women. Right? It's the food chain. They're hypergamized. So anyway, does this mean that whosoever looketh on a woman committeth lust? How the heck is that? Didn't all of us get here by lust? I actually had a talk with a Muslim and a Christian not too long ago that worked together, believe it or not. They pulled that scripture out. And I said, well, how did we get here? Was not lust that got us here? Now, we're not supposed to be wearing, the women not supposed to be wearing the provocative clothes, so that brings lust, especially to one who's married. Now, what was this talking about? Here we go again, universalism, trying to leave things out and trying to push that agenda on the children of Israel. New to us, man. But now we waking up. So when you go to the cross references, the Matthew 5 and 28, and some of you who don't read will not go into commentaries and read it or get the full biblical understanding usage on this text. Let's look at the cross reference. Exodus 20 and 17. Ye shall, which I read the commentaries on this, so I already know, but to make the video much simpler, look at your cross references. That's how you understand what certain scriptures mean. It says, Exodus 20 and 17, ye shall not covet your neighbor's house. You should not covet your neighbor's wife. There you go. So these things that are quoted in the New Testament, Yahushua was quoting out of the Old Testament. And it's weird because they say that the Lord brought new things and he changed things. Some things did change, but they had the laws of marriage because we had lost our identity during the time of Antiochus and the spreading of the Israelites. So we lost our identity, right? So then some of us married into other Israelites who had different religions. And so when we woke up, they were saying, well, get rid of them because thus saith the law. And that's why Paul said, I say this, not the Lord. Really, when he said that, he said not the law, right? But he was making fun of them. He was mocking them. Actually, it tells you that you're not supposed to put away your wife. Now, in the time of the law, you would have had man and women believing, right? But now you might have one woman or one man, vice versa, one believing, the other not believing. That's why he came out with that and said, if the unbelieving wife or husband, they don't believe, let them not put them away. Why do you think he had to bring this back out? So anyway, Leviticus 18 and 20. You must not lie carnally with your neighbor's wife. These are all the scriptures that cross-reference that the Messiah said. And I'm pretty sure they kind of left out your neighbor's wife. I'm pretty sure they left that out. They've been, like I said, Edom has been horrible, man. He's been horrible. I'm pretty sure they left that out, man. Also, Deuteronomy 22 and 22, which I just read. If a man be found lying with a man's wife, both the man who slept with her and the woman must die. You must purge the evil from Israel. So it's kind of crazy how now they're making the New Testament an act to sin. But then when it comes to things that was written in the Old Testament, they'll try to hold on to that and say, oh, that's the law. But then they'll say the law was done away with. You see what they do? That's the confusion in Babylon and in Christianity. So real quick, Isaiah 4 and 1. It says, in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. Right? This is what it says. Do you not remember in the book of Numbers 31 when the Lord told Moses to go into Midian and take women, right? and take all the women that have not laid with men for themselves. I wonder why he said that. So this is kind of insane to say in 1 minute, right? The Lord God does not want a man to be with more than one woman, but then he put you in situations where you're going to have more than one woman. So when these things happen, and let's say, okay, everything straightens out. So now he's got that, men that had more than one wife, now you got to give all your wives back up and go back to one wife? Again, this is not making sense. This is why IUIC goes off, because they're flipping on and off laws. They're saying, no, you're in captivity, you can only have one wife. When the multitudes grew in the time of King Ramses in the book of Exodus, the 2nd chapter, right? So that's a lie. So all of a sudden, it's illegal, right? A man's only have one wife until we get to the kingdom to multiply. Then you can have more than one wife. Yeah. Anyway, Isaiah 4:1, in that day of which he has hitherto been speaking, and still continues to speak, the calamitous time, 7 women shall take hold of one man. The war and the captivity shall make such prodigious scarcity in the male sex, okay, that 7 women shall be glad to apply to a single man for protection. Now, if it's unnatural, why is it that a man would gladly do it? Show me one man that's not gladly, I'm talking about real men, that's not gladly ready to have multiple women if he could have them. And I'll tell you a damn lie. A man that's 60 years old can still see the woman. So they done got married, and all of a sudden the woman biological clock has stopped, but the man is still going, but yet we're equal in relationships? Yeah. And preservation in marriage shall be important to him through contrary to natural modesty of their sex consents to take away their reproach. One of them says, I was reading a couple of these, I'm not going to read all of them. One of them said even, it's not even 7, it's just a particular number of completion, which they know. It's not going to be just 7 women. It might be 12 women. It might be 20 women. I don't know. But see, the feminists and the male feminists, right, they don't want to see strength in men, right? They don't want to see that. They don't want to see the strength of men, right, on how things are supposed to be. Again, I'm not saying that we should do that now. But they don't want to see that. And it's because they've been brought up under sweet Jesus, who was a homo himself, who laid with his own sister, right? He laid with his own sister, and Rodrigo Borges joined in and laid with the daughter, right? So, and I'm pretty sure they had 3 ways going on, man. Rodrigo, LaQuisha, and Cedra. They had 3 ways going on. They had all kinds of freak shows going on. That is the image of Christianity, right? And their whole job, their whole point is to I'm gonna try to use the words carefully, not let you do what you're supposed to do to bring the children of Israel. That's the best way I'm going to say it. That's the point. That's all I have on that. Shalom.